Absolutely. We're gonna have a discussion. Ah, boy. Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is Painful Lessons Podcast. Smash the like button, like and share the video. Well, the reason why I'm doing this show, and I'm not sure if I've done this before, but it bears repeating. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. No, it was the day before yesterday. And she was going on and on and on and on about something she completely had control over. And yeah. She chose wrong. Now, incidentally, the gentleman she was talking about, the gentleman she was talking about, I so happen to know. It's one of those situations where it's two people that are together and neither one of them need to be with each other. But, I know what his deal is. He's laying and playing and he's along for the ride. And she's more emotionally invested than he ever was. The bad part is we old now, man. And they've been playing this game for, I'm not kidding, for about 2 decades. There's children involved and everything else. And the deal is this here, man. She knew who he was, man. Everybody done changed. Everyone, well, for the most part, everyone done changed. Everyone done grew up. Except him. But she's there. She's there for all the smoke. And, she just turned into a bit of a lab rat. Because I'm like, y'all been at this since like 98. 2024 now. There's 3 kids. Y'all not married. Y'all fighting. Y'all making up. Y'all fighting. Y'all making up. And I don't tell her, God talk. I know what he says. And of course, what he says and what he does is 2 different things. But here's the thing. He's always been a rolling stone. They're in and out. They make up, they break up, make a baby. Make up, break up, make a baby. Make up, break up, make a baby. Then he goes, when he's not at his parents' house, he's laying up under some chick. And then go back to her. And the latest fiasco is he's back there. And the excuse is, well, I want my kids to know their daddy. Well, they know their daddy. Well, he needs to be in the house. All right, well, why don't y'all just get married, man? And get some counseling and she's making excuses as to why she's not getting married. I'm not even talking to him. I'm just saying, you ain't noticed that he ain't trying to put a ring on your finger? He's one of those dudes, he's functioning to a low level, but, he just never grew up as far as relationships is concerned. He never grew up. He stopped advancing at like 17, 18 years old. His outlook on that is just ridiculous. So, she engaged in a conversation and, me, and it was a group of us there and I listened. So, me, I just asked some questions. And the answers was just ridiculous. So, the older you get, the less F's you give. So I just asked her, I said, this might have been cute 20 years ago, but let's just keep it honest. Are you gonna tell us that you didn't know what he was about? She said, yeah, I knew he was out there, but what? And here you are, literally decades later, and y'all still doing this? What are you venting about? This is what you like. This is what he likes. So I playfully, but in all seriousness, I said, look, kind of don't want to hear it. Everyone got pension plans. We're trying to retire. Some of us are trying to move to different states. And this conversation, I don't want to hear it. Their oldest has grown about to graduate college, and he's sick of their ass. He love them both, but he says, man, they don't need to be together. He told us that. Every time they together, they fussing. I don't want to deal with that. The oldest is saying that. The other two are in high school. Can't wait to move. Why? When daddy home, they always fussing. I said, y'all gonna leave the house, you're gonna come back and have another sibling. That's how it works. But I know what he's about. He's just a ball of one big ball of confusion. But the question was, because you look at her, you would kind of like think to hold her to a higher standard. So my question is, how do women pick men? And there's a lot of people, a lot of men I could have put up here, but I put up the three craziest ones I could think of. And when I say craziest ones, I'm talking about situations. OJ. What's this dude's name? Aaron Hernandez? That's his name? Yeah, I remember that. And Robert Blake. And I like to wish the real queen of MMA, Tay, a happy born day. Salute to you, good queen. And I hope you enjoyed every moment of it. Another trip around the universe. Salute to you. So, what we learned from these situations was there was a lot of dysfunction, and it all ended badly. Amanai, salute. It all ended badly for the women that they were dealing with. Badly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with OJ. I don't want to like revisit everything, but we know, his woman was dag. Way back, one of those situations, I knew someone who knew someone who knew someone who knew someone. This was not the social media era. Knew someone who knew someone who knew someone who saw the pictures because he knew a police officer out there. And he said, yo, her head was, let's just say, hanging on by a string. And we remember the case. And I don't want to get too deep in the case because that's not what it's about. What I wanted to know is, when you learned about their relationship, you learned that it was dysfunctional. A lot of screaming and hollering and yelling and OJ breaking stuff and storming out the house, coming back to the house. And she was living off the fat of the land. He was in the Naked Gun series. It was actually quite funny. Hall of Fame NFL player. He had announcing jobs. His net worth was in the millions. And he got with this chick, and this chick was running him crazy. And, that case happened. The big one finally happened. And, it was a high-speed chase. But dial it back a minute. This ain't about the case or nothing like that. This is OJ. He could have been with anybody. What made that woman choose him? Help me out with that. Yeah, phenomenal Mexican. I heard all kinds of stuff about her. I can't deny or confirm all of that. But when you look at OJ and you look at her, if you remember how she looked, it didn't match. First of all, does anybody remember the age difference? I forget. Does anybody remember the age difference between them? Wasn't there? I don't remember, y'all. Wasn't there an age difference? Like it was pretty substantial. I mean, she was an adult, but wasn't it like, and yeah, she was an addict, and I heard about all of that. Yeah, Jamel. Well, listen. I recall the interview when Jay-Z said that in a line. I remember the interview where OJ said, "I'm not black, I'm OJ." Okay. I remember when he said that. I don't remember who he said it to, but I remember the line because it was kind of like the talk of the block. Have you heard what OJ said? You heard what the Juice said? Eric Jordan, salute. You heard what the Juice said? I say, hey, man, I was a little young, but the OGs was like, So when he says, like, Jamel, when he says that, to me, it's like no surprise that he picked her. You see, some of these brothers, hey, Hardy, salute, sis. Some of these brothers, some, not all, some, not all. I'm going to say it one more time. Some, not all. There is an element of truth to some of those brothers when they reach a certain status. Some of them, they don't want to deal with black women. Not all. I didn't say all, but some of them. There is an element of truth to that. It's not all black men. But you got to think about it. What? You sure that's it? That was it? Hold on. That's it? That was it? Wait a minute. OJ was... Time out. That can't be right. He was 30 when he met her. She was 18? Wait a minute. Why did I think... Is that right? Wait a minute. Hold on. I got to go to Google. Yeah, they met when holy cow. Oh my gosh. Bro. Now, listen. Here's my question. And Village Brother, salute. Now, I skipped the roll call this evening. So salute to everybody. Listen, man. He met her when she was a kid. So she behaved like a kid. He had this kid all around everything. Hollywood, athletes, and that's the life. So you know what goes on there. Well, you heard what goes on. Maybe some of y'all have been around those parties. I haven't been in it. I've got on blocks like, what's going on in that house is jumping. Oh, well, that's so and so who plays for so and so, and he's over there with and you're seeing cars pull up. Oh, ain't that so and so that plays for so and so? And they all going to this house, and it's somebody else's house because somebody that lives in Long Island knows some NFL or NBA players, and they all partying at the house. And he met her at a Beverly Hills nightclub. 18 years old, he was 30. I always wondered, did her parents approve of that relationship? Whatever, man. So she chose him. And even if he chose her, she decided to build with him. And she did what young chicks do. And he tried to mold her, and you can't mold that child. She's a child. You done exposed her to life. And somebody got tired of it and did what they did. And they got homie she was cheating with too, right? If I remember correctly. Now, did he do it? The law say no. Maybe I'll do a show about everything, but whatever, man. But my point is this. They didn't have the most functioning relationship. So, how? I mean, it's pretty obvious. She's 18, he's 30. What made her choose him? And she legitimately paid for it with her life. Because whether he did it or not, something happened, and she ain't make it. I mean, I can envision her father probably saying, "You're dating the juice? I have his football card." I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. What made her pick him? And look how that turned out. Oh, I know Billy's brother. Yeah. What's the criteria? I mean, what do you do? Manda Mansa Musa, what's good? How does that work? She picked OJ and she literally got decapitated, man. Do you know her head was hanging on her body by like a piece of skin? And here's the deal with all of that domestic, because that wasn't the first time, if I remember correctly. The police was called to her spot several times. Several. At what point do you leave? You know what happens? Every time she thought of leaving, that wasn't a house, that was like an estate. And she looked around and said, I can't give this up. I can't. How much you want to bet that she had some friends around? I was like, yo, is there any way you can get half of his stuff? Or, you know, she was probably sleeping with more than one guy on the side anyway. He was a working man. He's calling football games, if I'm not mistaken, doing appearances. Like I said, he's acting in Hollywood. I remember, bro. Young Abel, I remember. I graduated high school when that happened. That was 94. And I remember that Bronco chase. You wanna know how gangster the WWF was? back then, Roddy Piper, God rest the dead, was feuding with Goldust, and they ran out the damn arena, and Goldust hopped in the car, and Piper hopped in his vehicle and chased him, and it was a white Bronco. And when they zoomed the camera back, they were showing the OJ. I said, come on, y'all. Come on, man. Vince he just didn't care, bro. He just didn't care. That was crazy. But anyway. She didn't have no friends to tell her, yo, you know what? This ER is crazy. Now, Nicole, you can do what you want, but you might want to get away from this guy. Can I ask y'all a question? When someone actually really breaks out and does something sick, there's a few people that live in the neighborhood and they'll say something like, I never knew, he or she never did this, and they were quiet. They kept to themselves. I saw them every morning, waved to them. They went to the store. But you know what? A lot of times when something like that does happen, the news ain't going to tell you the people that say, no comment, I don't want to talk, no, I'm good. They'll get to like 2 people, and they're coming and going too. It's like, oh, well, he looked like, or she looked like such a nice person. No, the people that don't want the camera in their face, you talk to them, they were like, no. That mofo was weird. He barely came out the crib, and when he did, he had this bugged out look on his face. Or she used to come out with her hair linked over and looking around, and then she'd go back in the house. I get on the elevator with her and say good morning. She just staring everywhere. No, she was crazy. There's no doubt she had bodies in the freezer. No doubt in my mind, of course. I would tell the kids, don't get on the elevator with that mofo. The elevator pull up and that person gets on, wait for the next one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Rod, bro. That was nuts when he said that. New Jack told OJ he was doing a good job. I said, oh, my God. He did it at Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I said, oh, Jesus. All those white folks up there, he didn't care, bro. New Jack didn't care. God rest the dead, because he passed a little while ago. About, 3-4 years now? He passed away. I mean, how did she stick around for that? But she thought that she was going to go get away with whatever she's getting away with for all this time? You know what I tell these women that literally stay in these relationships where they are in control, and they have a punching bag for a man. I've seen that a couple of times. And I told these shorties, you think it's good now, but when you settle down and you're done being abusive and you just decide, hey man, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna be a good person. This brother's gonna wake up when you least expect it, and you don't know what he's gonna do. Story time. 2 situations I know where something happened. First situation, there was a chick that used to hang around us or whatever. Complete tomboy, but she wasn't like a lesbian or nothing like that, but she was a tomboy. And this dude that she was in a relationship with, he used to come around the block. He was a harmless dude. He'd be like waving at us, yo, what up? And sometimes when we sit outside, she'd come sit with us and he'd just be there. He was cool, quiet, a little head nod, whatever. But we've watched her verbally abuse this dude. And I ain't gonna get too deep into it, but he used to just sit there and stare at her. Like, he would never clap back at her. Then after a while, he'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go home, and he'd get on the bus. I don't remember where he lived. He'd get on the bus, he'd leave the block. We'd be like, yo, why are you doing that to him? Oh, please. That was her response. And Young Hollywood salute. And we'd be like, yo, you would never talk to me like that. Oh man, I'll do what I want. I was like, yo, nah. We ain't saying he got to go upside your head. We just saying we wouldn't be there for that. We're like, word, this how you talking? Out. Don't call me no more. But he was around. He was like, I guess he like it. Well, he was dealing with her for, wow, I say about good 3 years. We all get a little older. And from what I was told by one of her girlfriends, he left her. And it was when she least expected it. When she stopped being verbally abusive and she thought that everything settled out and they were just having a good time, her girlfriends told us, because she was just moping around, and we was like, yo, what's up with her? But we never asked. And she was like, yo, you don't know? I was like, nah, what happened? I said, yo, I forgot his name. The old boy left. And that's why she's broken apart. I'm like, man, she used to curse him out. So remember we was out here a couple of times and she cursed him out, and we was like, why he there? I was like, oh, he left her. What happened? She was like, yo, she was waiting for him to come through, never showed up, and then he called on the phone, broke up with her over the phone. I was like, yo, man, I'm good. I don't want to deal with this no more. And it was like, she didn't even know. It was like, yo, you was a douche to this dude for like had been about 3 years. You was a douchebag to this dude, and Lord knows what else she was doing to him. That was just what we saw. Lord knows what else. And then when he just got tired of it, and then I heard she was going to this block trying to go on a campaign to, come back to me, and going to his block and hanging around to see if there's another chick going to his house, and none of that. He just got tired of her. Then I heard they had a conversation and he spazzed. That's what I heard. He spazzed on her. It was like, yo, get out of here. And she never saw that side of him. And it was all this bent up frustration he had when you least expect it. Now that's a hold on.
This is how one of the mothers showed up to their kindergarten.
Why are people commenting and tagging me in their damn comments? Sorry. Anyway, I love how people respond to me on threads, and the conversation's like literally a month old. You're not gonna beat me. A woman that goes to a graduation in booty shorts with the pant with the button unbuckled, dressed like you going to the beach, and you're at your 8-year-old's graduation. And all I said was, I don't see no father in the picture. I see her. And man, the sisterhood came for me, didn't they? The sisterhood came for me. You're not going to win. Because what's the bottom line? They're going, the dude on the thread was like, I'll give her props for showing up to the graduation, but, why would you dress like that at the graduation? And all I said was, notice there's no man in the picture. I don't know many men. I don't personally know any men, but I'm sure there's men that have no sense of dress. I'm sure. But I said, notice that she's there as a single mother. There's no man there. I would not allow my wife or my baby mama, if I had any, to show up at my child's graduation dressed like how this woman is dressed. I say ain't no man there. And man, these chicks jumped in my ish. Y'all not gonna win. I said, what's the bottom line here? She's dressed like a streetwalker at her child's graduation. I mean, the booty shorts and the pants and the shorts is unbuckled. And I said that's inappropriate, and I'm noticing there's no man there. Oh, and they saying all this stuff about man on the man this and man that. Man, I say, yo, how do y'all know y'all thinking the worst of this man? Well, the man's not in the picture. Maybe the man is at his second job so he can pay child support for a child that he can't see, which is her fault. Always assuming the worst. I said there ain't no man in the picture. I see a woman half dressed at her son's graduation. I have so many pictures of women that have no sense of dress when it comes to their kids. I have a picture of a woman walking down a hall with her 5-year-old. The book bag is bigger than her daughter, and she's walking down the hallway, and someone took a picture of her, and she had on these booty shorts, and her cheeks are hanging out. Why are you why are you dressed like that? Why are you dressed like that? Do I have to do a show? Yeah, I'm gonna do a show about proper dress. I got another picture of a woman going to her son's junior high school dance, and this woman was in a dress. First of all, it's bad enough she was built like the penguin, but she had on like a lady of the night gown. The whole back was out, and you could see side boob. She had matching glitter shoes, and I'm like, this is not for a junior high school dance. What are you doing? That was not for you, Ma. That was for your kid. What are you doing? Why are you dressed like that? And another woman took that picture and said, look at this. There's always a few. Normally the saying is there's always one, but she said there's always a few. So maybe I'm going to do a show about that. How people don't know how to dress appropriately. Wearing a night dress at a junior high school dance. Get out of here, man. So when we call out that dysfunction, I have the sisterhood trying to drag a man that's not in the picture. I just said, I noticed that there's no father there. It's her. And then they start dragging a guy that's not even in the picture. So the guy's not there. What does that have to do with her dressing like that? I just said, I noticed there's no man there. So Shorty just responded. She added me. How do you know where the father is? I said, well, maybe he's at work. Maybe he's in the military, ducking bullets for this country, and she's dressed like that. I'm not gonna talk down on no dude that I don't know. I'm not gonna assume the worst. I'm looking at the worst. She's half dressed at her kid's graduation. That is the worst. Man, shut up. Stop it. Anyway, back to the topic. So Shorty broke up. You know, she was abusing this dude. Story number 2, I'll keep it real brief. I go to a dinner party at my wife's former friend. And it was her friend and her friend's mom and the older sister and some people there, so we just sitting there eating whatever. When I got upstairs, I noticed there was people there that I knew. I'm shaking hands, whatever. And there was a brother sitting in the kitchen looking at one of these small, the small TV/radios. I mean, it's throwback, but he's sitting on there and he's just sitting in the kitchen just looking at it. And it looked kind of like weird to me, but brown skinned dude, and he was just sitting there and we looked and I shook, and he gave me this, and I'm like, all right. So I noticed that during the dinner, everybody's socializing, but him, he's just sitting in there. So I'm thinking he's like the weird, like introvert brother or family member or whatever. So whatever. Everybody's socializing, eating food, whatever. The food was great. And the topic of relationships came up, of course. And her friend's mother said, you know, a what if scenario came up. And if I remember correctly, she went into the I can do bad all by myself spiel. All of this, a majority that I paid for, and I jokingly said, "Oh yeah, you talking big now, but when the big Mister, meaning her husband, comes home, that's when the big Mister walked through that door. You're gonna be singing a different tune." She said, "Please, he know how I feel." I said, "Yeah, you say that now." And she went just like this. "He know how I feel." And she went like this towards the kitchen. And I said, "Wait a minute. That's him?" And she was going off. Now, I don't know what the hell was going on. Wasn't my, I didn't know he was home. I didn't know that was him. So I looked at my wife. I said, "Yo, that's your friend's father?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "What the, wait a minute." She was talking big. Oh my God, it was crazy. I was like, "Yo, what is?" I said, "You know what? Okay." Okay. And I got uncomfortable. All the other brothers in there, it's like the men, we all looked at each other like, "Yo, we didn't know who that was." Well, one dude knew. But even he was sitting there like, and she was talking she was talking crazy. That's why I said what I said, because like he she don't talk like that when he here. Turns out that was homie in the kitchen. I didn't know. I was like, ooh, I wanted to leave. It was safe to say, eventually, of course, everyone went home. Walking home, I said, "Yo, that was nuts." I said, and some women don't understand danger or the element of danger. I'll say that. Some women don't understand the element of danger. And my wife was like, I said, "That was very uncomfortable." I said, "He was sitting there the whole time. We was there for like about 4 hours. Everyone's laughing and joking. We talk sports, we talk movies, and he wasn't socializing. I just thought he was like the family member that just doesn't socialize, but he was just in the kitchen watching a little transistor black and white TV, and it looked odd to me." And I said, "I had no idea that was your friend's dad. What the hell? I didn't know." And she was like, "Hey, I said, "Yo, that's not healthy." "What do you mean?" I said, "Yo, the way she carries on, if she did that in front of us, for all we know, he probably got his hands around her throat right now." And she said, "Oh no, he ain't like that." I said, "How do you know?" "Oh no, he not like." I said, "Look, he's what you tell them he is, but when you don't live there. And what I know is every person has a breaking point." The way he said, because I said she was talking crazy, and I had no idea that was him. I had no idea. I said, "Man, I'd have never." That was crazy. It was something out of a movie. She said, "Yeah, he know." And I looked, I was like, "Whoa, that's." And I like hit Shorty's boyfriend. I said, "Yo, that." He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh," and we looked, we all the men looked, we was like, "Yo." That was out of, and we just stopped. We kind of like got off of that. Because we were all joking at first. But then when she joked with us and then talked about how she runs the house, and she was on some straight Ralph Cramden. "I'm the king of the house. I'm the queen of the I'm the king and the queen." I was like, "Yo." And we all like, yo. I was like, okay, all right. Yeah, so what's the last movie you saw? What's the last book you read? Can we leave? I felt bad for homie, but I told my wife, I said, "Listen, I'm not comfortable you going over there. He has one bad day at work and comes home, and then he has to deal with his wife. And here's the other thing, because the wife talked to him like that, my wife's friend who lived in the house with her parents also didn't respect him. And that's crazy because I don't know what they had going on, but I promise you she had nothing to do with that. Because I inquired, I said, well, was he abusive or, loose with his hands, something like that? She was like, nope. Nope. So I said, what's going on? What do you know? And I never got an answer that warranted all what I saw. Well, sometime later, I get a phone call. Now I'm at work. I get a phone call. My wife is panting. I'm saying, whoa, what's going on? I'm going over, I don't want to say her friend's name. I'm going over to so-and-so house. What happened? I'm thinking something happened with the moms. Well, something happened with the moms. Something happened with her too. So what happened? Oh, her father came home and they got into arguing and he threw so-and-so on the ground and then threw her mom's on the ground. And I said, and you're what? I'm on my way over there. To do what? I said, stop. Where you at? I said, don't go over there. Do not. Here's what you do. You call. Did they call 911? She said, I think they did. I said, you think? I said, how about this? Stop. Get off the phone with me, call 911. Go about maybe 500 feet to the crib and just stand there and watch the door. Because if he come out there with blood on his shirt and his hands and run, you want to give a detailed description of which direction he ran, but you don't want to be nowhere near that. When you see the police go in there and kick the door in, that's when you walk over there. You're my responsibility. And that's what I'm saying about how women really don't understand the element of danger sometimes. They don't understand men. And that's a whole thing with this era of women being too masculine. They think it can't happen in them. I've literally seen short, like when I worked at clubs, I'm like, why are these short chicks? I'm like, yo, you got to leave. Yo, you don't touch me. And they're like this big, trying to chest bump me with their boobs that they got matted down on their tight wife beaters. What you gonna do? What you gonna jumping up and I would say chest bumping me, but they jumping up and hit me in the bottom of my ab. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Are you serious? Literally have to pick these short chicks up like you hold like a cat by the back of the neck. Get out of here. What are you doing? You're not a man. Even if you were a man, you're very small. So some of these women have this aura of invincibility. So that's a problem. OJ's ex-wife, she was around him because she really thought he wasn't going to do anything to her. And whether you believe he did something to her or not, something happened. And I'm sure there was so many red flags where I bet you she had a friend that is saying to this day, I told her to leave. I told her to leave. And she just wouldn't. I bet you. Told my wife, I said, yo, hold on, stop. I said, no. Where are you? You close? I said, move away from the crib, move away. You don't know if you're gonna start waving a gun. It could be a triple, quadruple suicide in there. No. You're gonna go there and do what? After you, and she was like, well, I said, don't tell me anything about him because you told me he wasn't like that. And now you're getting calls on the phone because he started whooping everyone's behind. You also didn't know he'd do that. So somebody called 911, right? What happens when you walk through the door? Wife down, your friends down. What you supposed to do, Chuck Norris? Think. What are you gonna do? Stay away from the house, keep an eye on the door, call 911 and see what happens. What the hell you going over there for? What are you doing? Don't tell me what he wouldn't do, because what I said was possible and it was bare minimum. You told me he wouldn't do it. Something happened in there, and I found out he snapped when I was told the story. I said, what happened? Oh, he was in the house and an argument ensued, and I'm 100% sure that the women started it. Argument ensued between the husband and wife. Her friend got involved with it, for the mother. And he said, I'm not dealing with it, and it turned to a shout match. And I don't know who hit who first, but and he wasn't the biggest of men, but he's a man. And I'm not trying to be funny, but her girlfriend's mother is a roly-poly. You knock her over, she on the back, she can't roll to get up off her shell. She's very short and round, and I'm not being funny, that's just what it is. Get out of here. Boom. Don't touch my mother. Who are you? You're my daughter. You don't talk to me like that. You've been talking to me crazy for a few years. Oh, you can't do it. Boom. Discipline. And then the word is he stormed out the house and police got there, and he eventually, I think he drove to the precinct and said, yo, they called on me and yada, 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 yada. And eventually he left, moved out. So it's a two-part thing. These brothers got to make better decisions, but ladies, how do you pick men? It sounds like this dude was the ultimate herb, and these dudes wake up when you least expect it. So shorty that used to hang with us in the 90s, she bagged the herb, and he was just dealing with it until he just said, you know what, I don't want to deal with it no more. And then she was heartbroken, sneaking around his way, trying to see who he was seeing. Now she heartbroken. So now my wife's friend, but they don't speak much anymore. I saw the abuse of my own two eyes. I had to remind her. I said, yo, listen, you remember that dinner party? I said, I picked right up on that. It was only a matter of time. Didn't I tell you? And what'd you tell me? Oh, he wouldn't do, yeah, okay. He wouldn't do that, right? Well, he did. He sure did. So now, you got OJ. Y'all know about Robert Blake, Beretta? And that's the name of that tune. Remember that? Beretta. Well, without getting into the whole case, he did that. He blasted Bonnie. He blasted her. And got away with it. At the end of the case, I don't mean to laugh, but at the end of the case, didn't he play the guitar or something? Beretta blasted her. And then, I heard Bonnie Blakely wasn't a princess of a person. I heard she was a nightmare. Come on. Blasted her. But I heard she was in the studio making music and stuff like that. And she was using and abusing him. And when he got tired, he exercised all of his privilege and got away with it. What made her choose Beretta? What qualities do these women look for? And you know what it seems like? I can't confirm it because I didn't know Nicole or Bonnie Blakely. Bonnie Blake, I didn't know. But it seems to me that these chicks was looking out for their own bank account. And they don't know that these dudes was crazy. OJ had a lot going on. I heard they played phone calls when she called 911. You hear OJ, it's really him breaking stuff in the background and mad at the Inquirer because they wrote an article about him. and you hear him going off. She's on the phone with 911 or somebody. And he's going off and breaking stuff. She ain't had no friends to say, girl, get out of there. Because I don't know what y'all got going on, but sooner or later, he gonna go upside your head. Well, somebody went upside her head and almost took it right off her shoulders. Bonnie Blake. Somebody, he got away with it, and he did that. He got away with it. What makes these? What are y'all willing to sacrifice? A dude got some bread. What do you put up with? Let me ask you a question. Did y'all see this thing on Instagram where there's black women going to the Middle East, Saudi, and Dubai to become porta potties? Have y'all seen this? They're flying out there to get pooped on for 20 racks by the super wealthy. And I heard it's not only the Saudis doing that. It's billionaires and gazillionaires from all parts of the world going out there. You know, let me tell you, when you reach a certain financial status and you have everything, to some people that have no self-awareness, they think they're above religion, they're above people. To entertain themselves, the next level is pure insanity. Because, put it like this, it's like a drug addict. A true crackhead said, when he was asked, well, why don't you know this is bad for you? Why do you keep doing it? And they started talking about the first high they ever had. And it was the greatest feeling in the world. I said, all right, so now your teeth is falling out your face and what's going on? And they said they keep smoking because they want that feeling from when they first got high. And it's never the same. And you keep looking for it. Meanwhile, your teeth is falling out your head. Man. Well, with these gazillionaires, from what I understand, the people that partake in this, these, dare I say, rituals, it takes more for them to reach a climatic state. I'll just say that. Regular intercourse doesn't do it. It can't just be with one woman. They need 3 or 4. Regular sex acts don't do it. They can't do it missionary or doggy style. They have to do it a certain way. They have to use certain tools, certain toys, perform certain acts. I mean, when you have everything, conventional stuff, that it doesn't do it for them. We're working people. We have jobs. And then when we do have a vacation, we sleep half of it. And when we do buckle down and have relations with our significant others, for those of you that have, we're lucky to get it. And if you have kids running around, forget about it. You're lucky to get it in anywhere. But when you're living down in the Middle East, you're a prince, you're a king, or you just born into wealth, you could be a third cousin, but your net worth is still $112 million. You have all the cars in the world. You have women, and all the women that you want at your disposal. You want that Ferrari, just go buy 3 of them and get them painted in an off color. You order it from the manufacturer and then you take it to an expert and get it tricked out. And you have the only one in the world. They're out there putting gold on chicken. It's a gold wrapping on. It's literally gold, and you can eat it. it's not enough to kill you. You know, don't consume a lot of it, but you eat one chicken wing with gold on it. Who does that? Them. They can't just have a regular dog. You've seen the videos. They have pet jackals, pet bears, pet lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. They can do everything. And they've done everything. So what's the next level? Okay, I need to do some crazy stuff in order to keep me motivated in life, because I have everything at my disposal. And the latest thing, from what I understand, is these sisters are flying from all corners of the world. You know what I'm saying? Especially some of these black women with the crazy hair, and they're going down there to get pooped on. I've like really seen things, like I've seen documentaries on it. I'm like, is this real? Yeah. And this woman that didn't want to reveal her identity, she was from the East Coast, didn't want to say which city, but I promise you that that accent sounded like she was from New York. And her silhouette, she came and sat down. Of course, it was a BBL. And she was talking about how she went down there and they paid her up front. It was like 100 racks, and she was down there on a boat and hanging out with somebody, and you know, and then they said, all right, now it's time for us to collect on this money I gave you. Okay, what are we gonna do? And if the worst she thought was, oh, hey, I'm gonna go in a room and there's gonna be like 20 of these Arabian dudes coming in, they're gonna run a train, nothing, I can handle it. No, they put her in the room and there was other women there. I was like, well, what are y'all doing here? Dressed in bikinis. What's going on? Okay, well, there's gonna be 100 people coming in running the train. Well, let's get ready. No. You know, the story she told was so vile. Went into a room. I'm just gonna give you the accelerated version. Went in the room. It was her and about 6 other women. A couple of them may speak English, but they were obviously like grand models or whatever. Came in there and they brought in buckets and put them in front of them, and the buckets had feces in it. She was like, what? She was thinking that, okay, they wanted them to defecate in the pail. She was thinking, okay, this is disgusting, but they're going to want us to, like, I don't know, bathe in it or something, like 2 girls, 1 cup type of thing, which was disgusting. I couldn't, bro, once I figured out what was happening there, once I saw what happened, I remember I did. So I think I shut my screen off. I was like, oh, I almost threw up. I really did. I can't do that. I no, there was nothing funny about that. Yeah, Young Hollywood. Yeah. I don't know if it was Saudi or Dubai. I don't remember. But there was a woman, and I saw the documentary, and she didn't want her thing revealed. And one of the chicks got down there and mouthful. They're like, yo, eat the poo. And turns out that was her second go around coming down there for that. So she said and dude came in there and told her, yo, there is 100 stacks in your a bank account. You see it. Eat the poo, or we're gonna take your money and boot you out the country. You're never coming back. Well, I would figure a normal person would be like, you know what? Where am I sending this back to? All I need is a plane ticket. No, but she starts shoving it in her mouth. Now here's the not funny, but here's the disgusting part. The chick said one of the dudes, when the doors opened up, an English-looking dude came in there. OG Mr. Moss, salute. He pulled his pants down and defecated in the pail right in front of him. Eat it up. Now, of course, they weren't like, they were just in the mouth and on their face. She said she was like throwing up, whatever. And then after there's a mess and the room stunk and everything, then the white dudes and the Arab, they walked in there in the buff, and it was in the room, and they proceeded to have relations with those women. This was a story that I sat there and listened to it like, whoa. So when all these chicks talking about, we going to Dubai, we going to Saudi, check them when they come back. They're going to look like grape victims. Yeah, how was Saudi, ma? Anything she says with the letter H, just like, you farted? No, she just said she felt like a dirty HOE. So she didn't fart. That's her breath smelling like that. Okay, I know what happened. Yeah. So you want to talk about doing something strange for some change? How do these women pick men? I mean, the guy that worked a 9 to 5 making $60,000 a year was no good for you. You had to go down to Dubai and eat a pail of crap. That's what we do. That's what's up. That's what's going on here. What? Listen, if a chick tells you no, and that's the type of time she's on, see ya. See ya. How do you choose men? I want to know what qualities of a man have to have. They choosing OJ. They choosing Robert Blake. And this fool, what's his name? Aaron Hernandez. Do y'all know what this dude did? Well, it's on Netflix. And if I'm not mistaken, wait a minute. Wasn't this dude in the closet? Wasn't he in the closet? Hold on. Aaron Hernandez had tearfully told his mother that he was gay before his
Whoa! What the that's kind of pretty before it gets started, ain't it?
What? See what I mean? See what I mean? See? You mean to tell me, and his fiance said he never showed any signs? You know what I notice? If a woman finds a man attractive, they will ignore everything. They will ignore everything. I told y'all about a homie I grew up with. I told y'all the story, but it bears repeating. Light-skinned dude, he was a little older than me. He was like 2 grades ahead of me. Lived in my building. He had all the latest gear. He could dress. Light-skinned dude, chicks in high school was in his grill. But here's the thing. Y'all remember the Reeboks? And it had a Reebok in every color to match your gear. They had everything from dark blue to teal. You remember those Reeboks? Now, what did we know? Men wore those Reeboks, but we only wore the black ones. Well, in New York, we only wore the black ones, the navy blue ones, hunter green, or the dark red, because those are dark male colors. You didn't wear hot pink, sky blue, teal, or you may have had some white ones. And This dude, chicks was all over him. Oh, look, he got the Sherlin. Oh my God, look at the bomber jacket he got. Oh my God, he's always dripped out, and he got the latest cross colors, and you remember cross colors? Oh, Boss jeans. He could dress. But he had a very high pitched voice, and he walked. Look, everything about him was feminine. Everything. Now, to us, it was obvious. It was like, yeah, you think, I almost said his name. Yeah, you think he looked good? Okay. Yeah, I don't see what we see, though. It was a dude that, he's in school with us. He lived in a little park. He didn't live on the block. He lived somewhere else. And these chicks, I'll never forget this. Like when it was snowing outside, most of our teachers lived upstate. They ain't make it to work. So it was like a free day. Audacity Podcast, salute, good brother. So it was like a free day. We was just sitting there in the class, and the chicks got into a huddle, and they're talking about this dude, and homie just said, "Yo, y'all can't see," and he's Jamaican. "You can't see him, Bati, man." I was like, oh. And they all looked. You just jealous because you a bum, and you a bum, and all you do is play soccer, and you stinking. At least me a man. You drool over there, Bati, man, you bomber cloud, shoot up on fire, man. I was like, ooh. I ain't say nothing. I was like, well, but he was right. I said, look, they want to OD over this dude. Shorties were asking, yo, y'all live in the same building? Yeah. Yo, I know he be having mad girls. I'm like, I ain't in this business like that. I don't know. You know what I did know? You know what I did know? There was a shorty that was his age, because remember, they're a little older. He was a little older than me. There was a chick that was his classmate that was always hanging around her. And I'm team dark skin, right? But she was light skin. But she was very curvy. And she worked at the supermarket at the mall. She was very friendly. And everybody just swore that he was smashing that, because every dude was like, yo, if I had a chance. She was the pretty girl in the school, one of them at least. And she was like active, like she was out there, and she knew everybody, super friendly. She didn't have a bad attitude at all. Every time she saw me in the street, she was like, yo, what up? And I'm like, hey. And then she walked past, and I'm like, damn, she bad. But she was like super friendly, whatever, but she was always walking with homie. And he was cool. He ain't bother nobody either. He was cool. Well, I heard a story where she was really trying to get with him. And I heard a story from one of her friends, and she told you know how it is, told someone, and they got back to me, the circle of life, because we all lived in the same area. It was like, yo, you know what I heard? I heard that, I almost said her name too. All right. Well, the word is, she was at the crib, and everyone was drinking and watching TV or whatever. And I heard she stripped down to her panties and got into bed with him. And he was just sitting there eating popcorn and didn't, nothing. I said, what? What? That was the word. And I said, that can't, because even if your wrist is broken, you gotta, just for that moment, you gotta, you can't be that bad, can you? Well, that's what I heard. Well, I said, it's a rumor. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Well, It was that rumor floating around. No one's, I mean, what was strange is the dudes that heard it was like, that don't surprise me. But the girls, you know what the girls are saying? Oh, good, he didn't do nothing. That means I still have a chance. That type of thought process. And I'm like, I don't believe this. They don't see what we see. You really blocked that out? Well, years pass. People go to college. I went to college, came back, got a job, boom, boom, boom. I started working for the city. Well, it's literally about a decade later, right? Thanksgiving. Y'all know how it is. Mama give me the shopping list. Need some collards, some black eyed peas, and da 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 da. So me and my boy, we go shopping. It's like a ritual. The stores is crowded, lines is out the door, but we keeping each other company and we just laughing and joking. Damn, what year was this? This was 90. I want to say 90. No. This was before 9/11. This was like 99. In 2000, it was like 99. It was like 99. It was 1999. So, I get the groceries, bring them to my mother's crib. I go back downstairs to go park the car. I walk out and I see my neighbor, right? He stayed with his aunt. So I saw her. And I said, hey, Miss So-and-so, how you doing? And she looked at me like, normally, she called me by my name. Hey, how you doing? How's your mom? And, she just, I said, hey, I was like, oh, Thanksgiving is literally tomorrow. And I'm like, what the? Then I hear someone call me by my government. Now look, how you doing? And I'm looking like, complete sex change. I'm not capping. This really happened. Boss. And I was like, oh. And I tried to I was like, oh, okay. So once it registered what it was, I dapped her up. Yo, what up? How you been? Because by then I ain't see this mofo in like a decade. No, wait. 1991, 92, 4. I ain't seen him in like 5 or 6 years. But here's the deal. In between that, in those 5 or 6 years, I'm telling you, I haven't seen him like that. But you know what was happening around our way? There were sightings. Here's a real story. This is all coming back to me now. Check this out, bro. This is a real story. It's like 2 a.m, summertime, right? We on the corner, right? And, it's like 1, 2, me, Mike. Damn. 2 of the cats that were there, they passed on. In the last few years, but it was like 6 of us on the corner. And the conversation came up. And all of this is relevant to the title of the show. The conversation came up. There were sightings of a dude walking around with a wig on. Now, my best friend was walking from the train and he was listening to some music and he walked past what he thought was a girl, but out the corner of his eye, it had like a 5 o'clock shadow. And then when he got like 20 feet from the person, he turned around and looked. He said, "That's the same coat." I don't want to say his name, but homie got on. No, same jacket. And he looked. So his dumbass turns around and starts following him. He's like, nah. Hold on. So then dude walked towards the train, but he like dipped through the block, right? So then now my boy's looking, and there's a shorty sitting on the porch. So he said, "Yo, excuse me, did you see a girl come through here?" And shorty was like, it looked like a girl, but it looked like kind of like a dude, had like a beard or something. It was like, oh. So we couldn't like, he told me that story. I said, "What do you suspect?" He said, "Yo, I think it's, whatever." I was like, wouldn't surprise me, right? Then my other boy, one of my boys that passed on, right? As a matter of fact, I told y'all the Anthony Joshua story about how I got a phone call, how he was walking around the garden with no shoes on, sweating. That was my boy. He died from COVID. That was my boy. Well, he was out there that night. He told me that they were walking from the train, and that same chick walked past them, and they were like, "Hold on, was that?" But they stupid. They turned around and called him by the name, and he took off running. So I was like, now here's what's crazy. They all sharing that story. We on the corner. It's summertime. It's 2 a.m, and we just outside talking, and a cab pulls up to the light. And my boy Mike, well, I don't say his name, but he says, "Oh, shoot. There he is right there." And the girl was in the back. She turned around and started playing with her hair. And we all looked. And then you see her like hit the cab, hit like the driver telling him to drive. He blew the light. And two of my boys ran into the street and was looking in the car. I was like, "Yo, come on, what are y'all doing, bro?" And I'm not kidding. About 3 years later, the eve of Thanksgiving, that happened. And I said, "Yo," when I got back to the car, I said, "Yo, y'all remember y'all was having those sightings?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I just saw this nigga. He's a chick now." He said, "Told you." But prior to that, he was parading around here with a wig. Now, what does this have to do with the show tonight? In high school, these chicks ignored all the obvious signs. All of them. I said, how are they in this dude's face? It's obvious. And then when I heard with Shorty, with the light skin with the big butt, I said, if that's true, he got to be a fairy. Gotta be. If that's true, gotta be. And guess what? One of my boys spoke to her on Facebook a few years ago and asked her, "Yo, we heard that true?" And she just answered, "Yeah, it's true, that happened." The word is she did that on purpose to see. She liked him, but she wanted to see. And she said, "No, that absolutely happened." And she said she was devastated. Devastated? He's a pillow biter, man. Why are you doing that? What makes you want to do that? What you think you're going to change his mind? You want to run up behind what he was doing? You got to assume he was getting it off somewhere else. I was 16 at the time. All of y'all were like 18, 19. Those cats wasn't virgins. So he was doing something. Had the high school in his face. Like, what is going on? How do women pick up men? How do y'all pick men? He told he wasn't a man, and he's not a man now. My sister said she saw him well, this is a long time ago now, but now we in the mid 2000s. She said, yo, I saw him on a train. Now he got hips and boobs and all that now. When I saw him, he was a girl, but he was just a skinny dude with box braids and had to change. Oh, Lord.
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
I got up the elevator, I was like, what? Yeah, Audacity Podcast, yeah, there's a lot of that. These chicks ignoring the obvious signs. And they be getting on there, they be getting on these talk shows. I didn't know. And when they bring dude out, he float. Yo, prime example. What's her name that wrote How Stella Got Her Groove Back? What's her name? Her. That was a book. All the sisters ran out and bought the book. Remember that? All these sisters ran out and brought that book. They made a movie. Tay Diggs was playing the young West Indian dude. And then when he married her and divorced her and tried to take half of her stuff, she was on the Oprah Winfrey show. And she's talking about, Terry McMillan. Thank you, Gnarly Ray. She's on there talking about, I didn't know, and he's taking my money. And I'm like, well, that's the law. You're the breadwinner, and he's entitled to this lifestyle, and y'all ain't got no kids, but now you got to pay for his lifestyle. And you wrote a whole story and put him in it, so he's entitled to something. It sounds crazy, but that's what it is. And when they brought him out, I'll never forget this. When they brought him out, me and my brother was watching it that day. He didn't walk out. He floated. Just eyes all big, talking with a lisp, hair done. And I said, wait a minute. That looks nothing like Tay Diggs. Why didn't they get an actor to meet him so he can behave like him? You know why? There wouldn't have been no movie. Because that divorce that happened way after the movie. If the movie came out and they found the actor to imitate his mannerisms and everything, everyone would be like, yo, she don't know she's dealing with a... And of course, I believe she said, oh, he wasn't acting like this. He wasn't acting like this when I met him. Okay, well, you can't put that facade on but for so long. When you brought him back to the States and he slipped up, you should have put him out. She got her groove back because she felt old, moved him back, exposed him to all of this Hollywood stuff, wrote a story, made $1 million movie, took half her stuff. But when you saw that dude on Oprah, I was like, hold on. Now, there may have been, now I don't know, but can you imagine if there was a dude that she was cool with and he said, listen, Terry, just me and you in it? That's the guy you talking about? Listen. Does he have boo-boo stains in the back of his drawers and the front when you do his laundry? Terry would have probably called us jealous. You just jealous. You probably want to get with me. No, don't flatter yourself. I'm your friend. I'm trying to save you from yourself. You know what? Go ahead, Ma. We good over here. Go ahead, Ma. We good. Good luck. Let me pull this dude's picture up. Terry McMillan X. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Here we go. Come on, man. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. She's the victim. Look at him, man. Look at him. What's his name? His name.
Whack, shot, smack.
His name is Jonathan Plummer.
Whoa! What the
Listen to this right here.
Jonathan Plummer on realizing his sexuality. She married this dude. Listen, man. Listen, man. First of all, his last name is Plummer. Okay. Second of all, look at him, man. Look at him. Look at him. Look. Just look at him. How do women pick men? How did Terry McMillan and all of her genius, brilliant writer, I don't know everything about her background, but she made it off of her hard-earned work. And she went down to Jamaica and let this dude run up in it. He got a green card and a few millions. And a movie made about him. Taye Diggs looks nothing like this man. And all she knew was that she was out of her prime down in Jamaica and got dug out. And he dug out her bank account. Let's see something. How much did Terry McMillan have to pay her ex-husband? Under the terms of the settlement, Plummer was awarded about $50,000, $20,000 in cash, $20,000 to pay off a car loan, and $10,000 in temporary spousal support. McMillan was also ordered to pay Plummer's legal fees to the tune of $27,000, but all in all, McMillan spent a fortune to keep my money, she said. And here it is. Terry confronts gay ex-husband on Oprah. Hey, bro. Listen, man. Listen, man. Exactly. Doing the butt. Sexy. Ain't nothing wrong if you want to do the butt all night long. And salute to my brother from the Audacity podcast. He said, adding to the collection plate, man. Salute to you, good brother. I really appreciate you. I'm trying to get this new mic. These mics, my brother, that dude named Dave. I should have been had that mic, not for nothing. We'll get that mic soon. Nice and brand new mic, man, because y'all guys take care of me. I appreciate y'all, man, for real. But if the brothers told her, yo, listen, you slept with that guy? Yo, listen, pump the brakes on that. Did you protect yourself? Okay, good. Listen, every time I got up off the couch to go to the bathroom or whatever, he was like looking at me like how I look at you when every time you get out the seat. Okay? But I know. We haters and we jealous and all this other stuff. But how do women pick men? You know how many dudes was probably around her? She wasn't an ugly woman. How many dudes was probably in her face, wanting to holler? And she was like, nah. And she went to Jamaica. Look at that. Look at this picture, yo. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. Listen, man, his eyebrows are arched. Now, I know there's a lot of Latin brothers that do that. But here's what I'm going to tell you. That's not a black thing. He's Jamaican. That's not a Jamaican thing at all. That's not a Jamaican thing. That's not a black American thing. That's a Latino thing. Okay. Black men, West Indian men don't do this. Black American men don't do this. Yeah, Audacity Podcast, yeah. Watch the movie. Taye Diggs' character was him. They look nothing alike. And then go watch the Oprah interview. She's the victim. The whole time, me and my brother was like, hold on. She didn't see this? And then my brother know the dude that lived in the building. We all lived in the same building. He used to, because he older than them. He was like, yo, man, girls melt over this dude. They don't see he, broken wrist. Man. They can't see that? Nope, they ignored it. How do you ignore that? How do women pick men? Y'all miss when he crazy. Oh, I didn't know he was gonna. I had his baby, but I didn't know he wasn't gonna be there. But if you talk to two dudes that know him personally, you know what they always say? How she didn't know he was like that? They act like he did a 180 in his argument, in his demeanor. He did a 180 and just left her high and dry. And it's like, no. He was like this, like this, like this. He was dealing with her. She done had a fight with these chicks. She fought all these chicks, and she was the last chick standing. And he did to her what he did to her, what he did to her, what he did to her. Shorty's getting with dudes that got several kids everywhere. You didn't know? You want a closer example? Cynthia G. You know, the shorty that hates black men. If you're pregnant with a black baby boy, delete the pregnancy. Remember her? We didn't get her kicked off of YouTube. A white woman did. And she stood up there and played the victim. But when we did not me per se, when the homework came out about her, what happened? I said, wait a minute. If she feels that way about black men, she has a black son. Now, wait a minute. She's not married. Wait a minute. Who's the father of the child? And then you find out, I think this dude is some rapper. And he had about 2 or 3 other kids from different women. And then she slept with him. And she knew this. She wasn't blindsided. He wasn't putting on a facade. She knew who he was and what he was about. He stretched her out. She got pregnant, kept the baby. And he went on ahead and just he didn't change. He didn't ever change. And then she goes on a tirade on social media on us. Young lady, I didn't do it to you. You did it to yourself. That dude ain't going on some campaign attacking her. He had the last laugh. He don't have to say anything. He's like, yeah, she's saying all that stuff now, but I smashed. I could probably call her a smash right now. She could say whatever she wants. And she getting on here, oh, Kevin Samuels, the bandits. Yeah. I knew there was something wrong with her. I said, give it a minute. We're going to find out what her deal is. And it came out. And she had to address it. Now, all of those women that she put a battery in their back, how do y'all feel knowing that she chose wrong? She chose wrong. Ain't nobody did anything to her. She chose wrong. She did that. So she chose wrong. She's telling you to do as she says, not do as she do. And she's so angry that she wants to shorten the population of black men. Black women outnumber black men like 8-1 anyway. So what do you want us to do? Oh, you want us to leave you alone? Well, we've done that. And when I'm saying we, I'm a happily married man. I'm not talking about me, but men have done that. They've packed up, they've gotten passports, they've explored their options, and that's a problem. So you see how we got here? Dysfunction leading this blind leading the blind. The blind leading the blind. And that's just one aspect of it. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. But that's just one aspect. I'm just letting y'all know that's sort of how we got here. That's just one part. One part. There's other parts to that. But y'all know what I'm talking about. My God. Y'all be kidding me.
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
We didn't do it to her. I'm listening up. You know how chicks like the Deacon Dobbs, what up? You know how chicks always be like, when you stand in the pocket, like, for instance, this thread on Instagram, there's chicks has been talking to me about that for a month now. I'm like, God damn, let it rest. Y'all not going to win this. There's no dude standing there dressed like he on the corner at his kid's graduation. Because if it was, we would get on him. Brother, wear some khakis, pull your pants up, get a haircut. We would handle him accordingly. Here you have a woman dressed like she about to go to the beach at her son's graduation. That's an L. Hold that L. And when we point out, say, look what's going on, all I said was, there ain't no man there. And they got offended at that. What offends you? That there's no man there? There wasn't no man there. I said that for a reason. And they attacked the mythical man. For all I know, her baby daddy might be dead. But you should see what they're saying. Oh, he's an absent father. She has to be there by herself. She's doing the best she can. No, she's not. She ain't got a pair of pants that she could button. Why he got to be a deadbeat? Maybe he's in the military. Maybe he was at work, couldn't get off that day. Maybe he's paying child support for a kid standing in that picture that he can't see. Because maybe she got a restraining order against him. Unlawful, unrealistically. You could look at the cup half empty. I look at the cup half full. I'm an advocate for men when they're doing correct. Y'all are not the victims. How do women pick men? Whatever man that she picked was not in that picture for that graduation. You see all of that stuff, all that money. They accused Kevin Samuels of clickbaiting and leading men into a brick wall, and they invented a new term for us, male supremacists, all of that stuff. But the people leading that charge, systematically, they're getting exposed. MTR did a video. Somebody did a video on, you remember that thing I showed y'all, how they trying to call us male supremacists and stuff? Somebody did a video breaking down that whole 55-page report. And they broke that down to a science. The people who wrote it, the word games that they play, how the list didn't make no sense. MTR did a review on it. Go to MTR and look at the video. There's another YouTube channel that reviewed it, and they broke them down. I was like, whoa. And that's how you combat it. You combat it with facts and data. A male supremacist, you putting me in the same category of people that commit heinous acts that cause harm to people? That's what you're doing? But y'all let Cynthia G1 go crazy on YouTube? Making thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars on YouTube. And we didn't do anything. We didn't call them a female supremacist. And a white woman took care of her. Delete the pregnancies. We're bandits. Had all these women riled up. And when they complied and then really left the sisters alone that didn't want to be bothered, and they got their passports and bounced, that was the issue. They raised war on those men, and they started talking about the women in the countries that they were going to. And when those women clapped back, from Asia, from Africa. You had a few Captain Saber smuts talking about, hey, you can't talk about, and I got on here and said, stay out of that. Stay out of that. Stay out of that. They asked for this. Look at what they said. They talking about these women are in huts. They're not educated. As if they don't have cities in these other countries. Man, shut up. Shut up. You know how these women look at y'all with y'all wigs on? Y'all fat and crazy looking. It's crazy. Y'all need to remain silent. That's how they, that's what they say. Wash your meow meow. Remember all of that? They're saying you have poor hygiene, you have poor health, and y'all hair ain't real. That's what they're saying. You good, Domino. Don't even worry about it. That's why I told no one not to block you. But what do I tell y'all? Time reveals all truth. And where's Cynthia G now? And you know what's brilliant about what happened to Cynthia G? You know what's brilliant? We didn't do anything. We ignored her when she was talking her stuff. We ignored her. O'Shea Duke Jackson did things like call her out on her dysfunction. But for the most part, I never did no videos about her because there was nothing for me to do. I just said, and what happens with people like that? They always fall on their own sword. And who was standing in the pocket for her on YouTube? There was a black guy on a YouTube channel, defended her. He had her on his show. I should just say her, because guess what? I'm looking at dude and I'm like,
¡ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel! ¡ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel! ¡ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
if y'all saw it, y'all saw it. O'Shea did a reaction to his video talking to Cynthia. And I scrolled down in the comments and everyone was saying, yo, that dude got pixie dust coming out the top of his head. Shauna, salute. That dude got pixie dust. I thought I saw Tinkerbell flying behind his head. I was like, yo. There it is. That's who's standing in the pocket for her. Man, listen. Everything comes out when it needs to. So she literally fell on her own sword. All of her followers don't know where they went. I don't care. Because there's nobody else on YouTube doing that. And after they got rid of her, there was a few chicks trying to come up on her coattails. They changed their whole itinerary on how they did things. And that's great. Boxing Fan Times 4 and that super chat salute. He said, what's the main thing that would turn you off from a woman, even if she was a 10? Oh, that's easy. Her attitude, her demeanor. Listen, man. I was around, I did security. Chris, what's good, bro? Good to see you. Video Cynthia's ex-friend exposing. Oh, wow. Hold on. That's crazy. You know what just happened? You know what just happened, Chris? When I clicked on it, there's a Kamala Harris video that just popped up. Charisma Speaks podcast. Yeah, I'm gonna watch this when I get a minute. Ooh, she got receipts. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. Salute, brother. Thank you for that. So I don't know what Cynthia's doing now, but I hope she has enough money to pay for her son her black son that she wants all these other. You know what's crazy? What if there's a black woman that listened to her and was pregnant with a black baby boy and followed her lead and deleted the pregnancy just to find out that she has a black son in a dysfunctional She made a stupid decision. I want to know how many black women are kicking themselves in the behind because they listen to her. I'm just curious. I want to know the stats on that. Crazy stuff, right? But yeah, an attitude would turn me off. I've worked with, I did security, I've been around like these rappers and stuff, did a little security here and there. I've been around dimes, a lot of them. But, it turns me off when they, come up to you and start talking and I smell smoke. You smell like an entire pack of Newports. I'm not a smoker. I'm like, whoa. Stop. Stay over there. Oh, you smell like marijuana. You look good, but you smell like marijuana. That's a turn off. If you can't speak a sentence without a curse, that's a turn off. That's a huge turn off. If you have no grasp of the English language, that is a turn off. I don't like that. If you're talking like a sailor, I don't like that. If you can't have a conversation, you will lose points with me. Very easy. I remember when I asked a chick, so what do you like to do? She must have said party in the same sentence like 5 times. First she said was, I don't know. I don't know, I like to party, get my drink on the weekends, hang out with my friends, party, listen to some music, I love listening to a lot of classic R&B, I like to party and and I'm like, oh my God. And she said the weekends. But I could have swore I asked what she did for a living, and she said she's in between jobs, meaning you're unemployed. So how are you partying on the weekends? She had a big old booty though, but no thanks. I'm good. When you get a little older, your priorities change. I mean, a lot. Crazy stuff, man. She said party like 5 or 6 times. I said, oof. Matter of fact, Shauna just pulled up. The dude that I was telling y'all about, she knows him. She knows who he is. Shauna, the dude that lived in our building, our old building, that had the sex change. Do you remember him? If you remember him, put the first initial of his name in the chat. If you remember who it is. The dude that lived in our building that had the sex change. Put his name, the first initial of his name in the chat. Yup, that's it, yup. I'm not kidding. I'm not making that up. Yup. I'm not lying. That really happened. That was crazy. I'm not making it up. But I was saying before y'all have the same birthday. That's crazy. Y'all do? I didn't know that. But here's what's crazy though. Shauna, remember how many chicks used to really like that dude? You remember the chicks who used to like him? And we were like, how? What? Y'all don't see what's going on here? Crazy, man. Yeah, Snacks. Party all the time. Party all the time. Party all the time. That was crazy. So I'm like, how do these women pick these men? What is going on? Y'all ignore the stuff. And Sean, before he pulled up, an example of that, I was talking about Terry McMillan. We high-fiving over how Stella got her groove back. Well, I wasn't. That was just a movie to me. I was like, yeah, okay. I guess it's fantasy, but not every chick is $1 million author like her. So salute to her. Then dude hits up for thousands of dollars. And then she wants to talk about it on Oprah. Dude comes out on Oprah. And I'm like, yo, That don't look like no Tay Diggs. That's him? She didn't know that he... Wow. Everybody knew. And that's right, Audacity Podcast. A lot of women like zesty dudes. I need to do a whole show on that. Why women like these zesty dudes? They quick to call you zesty. But if you see these dudes that they be picking, he wearing a fitted hot pink shirt. He got the bird chest, skinny jeans, making his feet look like he's a size 40. Skinny jeans hanging off his belt, and his eyebrows are tweezed. Oh no, Shauna. By the time we got the Truman, that's all those chicks was talking about. Him and what they wanted to do with him, and we were like, with D? Can't be. Him? Oh, because he got on this and he smelled like that. And I'm like, yo, he's, you can't see he's, like, not into you? What is wrong with y'all? Okay. You just jealous. You just said, no. But y'all go ahead, though. Y'all go ahead. 1999, he's a full-blown woman now. Well, you know, thanks to science. And that's who these chicks was chasing around in the 90s. We listening to Onyx and Slam Dancing. And he's moonwalking all over the...
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
I can't, y'all. I can't, man. Yeah, I know, Shauna, but the fact that they were talking about him like that threw me off. Like, yo, y'all must be philiacs. Because, yeah. But I'm going to get out of here. I got to talk this boxing in the morning. Man, salute to y'all, and everybody need to make better choices. Maybe I'll do another show about how do men pick women, because some of you dudes, I don't know what the hell's wrong with y'all. It's like, yo, she stabbed you. How are you still? All right, whatever, man. Man, salute to y'all. Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, Super Chat, man. I admire the donations, man. I appreciate y'all. I got another. I think like August 2nd, I'll be back on my other channel to talk boxing, but for now I'm gonna do it here. But it is what it is, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Salute to everybody, man. And y'all be safe out here. It's crazy. And just take it gently. I'll see y'all in the AM. Love y'all. Peace.